In Germany, a silent but brutal war is raging. Wild boars are tearing through farmland, destroying crops and livelihoods. Seasoned hunters have taken up arms, stepping into a relentless pursuit that is far more than just a hunt. It is a battle to protect the hard-earned fruits of the land. This is no average hunt. It is a high-stakes mission where experience, precision, and courage collide. Follow these brave hunters into the thick of the forest, where every step could lead to a heart-pounding encounter with one of nature's most ferocious beasts. Will they succeed in bringing these powerful animals under control, or will the wild continue to rampage? The team moves silently, each step careful to avoid making a sound. They reached a high hillside, offering a wide view to survey the entire area. In the distance, a dark shape shifted, a wild boar. James raised his binoculars and signaled his teammates to get ready. Nick held his breath, aiming his rifle at the target. They waited, tense as if on a battlefield. This was the moment to strike decisively. A gunshot tore through the quiet air. The wild boar fell. The first victory was won, but the battle had only just begun. James and his team quickly changed positions, moving skillfully toward a pre-planned ambush site. The atmosphere grew tense, each man silent and fully focused. Less than 15 minutes later, Jake suddenly raised his hand and signaled. Through his binoculars, he spotted a herd of wild boars approaching. A gunshot cracked, shattering the morning silence. One of the boars was hit and fell immediately. Not long after, the sharp banging of hunting dogs echoed down the trail, signaling that the target had appeared. James and his team moved immediately toward the source of sound, hiding behind dense bushes, all poised and ready, eyes fixed on the area ahead. Tension was thick in the air. Just seconds later, a massive dark shape burst out from the thicket. Seizing the moment, James squeezed the trigger. The sharp crack of the rifle echoed loud and clear. The wild boar collapsed, motionless on the ground. Another wild boar was down, ending the threat to the farmers' crops. The hunt continued, but this victory fueled the team's determination. After a long journey, the team decided to move to a snowy area in Lower Saxony, where another hunting party had already begun tracking wild boars hiding in tall, dry grass. Nick held a position at the edge of a thick patch of grass. Suddenly, a massive wild boar slipped out, preparing for another wave of destruction. Nick held his breath, waiting for the moment the beast fully emerged from cover. He squeezed the trigger. The sharp crack of the rifle shattered the forest silence. One precise shot ended the threat. On this side, where the snow fell thick and heavy, James faced off directly against a giant wild boar. It stood towering in the midst of the white snowfall, full of defiance. James held his breath, slowly raising his rifle, aiming straight at him. He knew there was only one chance to end this battle. Suddenly, the boar charged like an arrow. James squeezed the trigger. The sharp crack of the shot tore through the stillness of the forest. Next, Nick had the final target of the day in his sights. Swift as a flash, Nick leaned to the side, reloaded and squeezed the trigger, determined not to let the boar escape. The shot hit its mark, sending the wild boar staggering. It wobbled, then collapsed into the thick snow. The entire forest fell silent, only the sound of falling snow remaining. A monster was taken down, bringing peace back to this land. The fierce battle against these destructive invaders had come to an end, at least for now. After the echoing gunshots, the fields returned to their peaceful state. A heartfelt thanks went to the support of the local community and authorities who made this mission possible. Though this journey had ended, the fight against wild boars continued in many other places. According to reports, wild boars often leave the deep forest during winter in search of food, leading to significant crop destruction. Studies found that boar activity increases by up to 30% during this season. Despite the bitter cold, the hunters continued their missions to help control their rising numbers. On sunny days, wild boars are more likely to come out to bask for warmth or forage for food, providing a golden opportunity for the hunters. Each member swept the terrain from their assigned positions. From afar, the unmistakable barking of hounds signaled the boar's presence. Rifles were raised, fingers ready on triggers. A boar burst out of the undergrowth and was taken down instantly. The mountains were vast, the boars numerous, but the hunters pressed on toward the summit, determined to protect the land. Suddenly, a herd of wild boars came charging from the opposite ridge. Shots rang out, but only one was brought down immediately. After a 2-day snowstorm, the hunters returned to clear weather. Spotting several boars below, they repositioned for a clean shot. Bullets flew, one hitting dead on, target tumbling. Another breathless pursuit occurred as Chad chased a fleeing boar, missing the first shot, but succeeding on the next. Half an hour later, a herd came crashing through the dense foliage. The hunters quickly took positions from 2 angles, ensuring no boar escaped. Gunfire erupted in rapid succession. The startled boars scattered, but several fell under precise shots. From a hillside vantage point, the hunters watched dark shapes streaking through canopy. They opened fire, and one boar stumbled. lost momentum and tumbled down the slope. As evening fell, the last rays of sunlight helped spot targets as the hunters descended. The slope was open, providing the perfect chance to take down boars cleanly and decisively. The boars mistakenly thought descending the mountain would bring safety, unaware the hunters had set up blockades at every exit. Several were taken down after rolling across the ground, motionless in the air. Recently, Turkish news outlets reported sudden wild boar attacks on locals, prompting the hunting group to set out for the mountains of Anatolia, where wild boars were a growing threat. Guided by a tracking app, the hunters charged toward moving wild boars. A black boar with rough bristles charged toward a waterhole, but was taken down with a decisive shot. The hunters approached the mountaintop and released dogs as planned. A fierce wild boar burst in the thicket and was immediately fired upon, collapsing instantly. Dogs barked sharply from the other side of the mountain, signaling danger. Two teammates pushed through thick treetops, gradually closing in on the prey. Chad lowered himself into firing stance and raised his gun. Unexpected and dangerous situations are an inevitable part of hunting, demanding hunters stay ready and composed. The team frequently moved to seek additional targets, responding to barking of dogs that drove prey toward them. Within seconds, thanks to sharp reflexes and expert skill, a wild boar was taken down, lifting the team's spirits. Experienced hunters often detect wild boars through scent tracks or instinct. Sometimes the first shot is not enough, requiring follow-up shots to ensure the animal collapses. Rain swept through the forest, but patience paid off, with clean shots dropping targets neatly on damp routes. One unforgettable moment was the confrontation with a giant wild boar in the mountains of Anatolia. The land was known for its large boars nurtured by dense oak forests and vast wheat fields.